Hi, Aunt Lori. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, Whitney. How are you doing?
I'm good. Today for my EDM 310 course, I would like to ask you a couple of questions of what it's like to be a professional educator. For I know you've been teaching for about 23 years now, so let's start with the first question. What is your primary job?
I'm an itinerant teacher of the visually impaired with the Regional School for the Deaf and Blind, and I also am our school's IEP team leader.
And so that entails that you do what for the school system?
As an itinerant teacher of the visually impaired, I travel around to schools all around Mobile County, consulting with the general education and special education teachers to ensure that the needs of the students with visual impairments are met, bringing materials, equipment, tutoring, basically anything that they might need.
Wonderful. And what do you feel are the personal benefits of your job as the itinerary teacher?
Oh, it really is personally fulfilling and professionally fulfilling when you see a student suddenly who's understanding what's going on in the classroom. That little light bulb goes off. That's always a wonderful moment when that light bulb goes off and you can see in their eyes they're figuring it out.
And that you, there in those 5 minutes or however long it took, that you made the difference.
Yeah, that I was some small part of them understanding it.
Okay, and tell me one experience that you've had in your teaching that was absolutely unforgettable.
Trying to think of just one. There's been so many. There's been several.
Well, you can name a couple if that's how you want to do it.
There was one in particular where there was a student who she had become blind at around age 14 to a disease that basically robbed her of her vision. And there was a point where I was going to algebra class with her, and it was just amazing working with her in algebra class because she could work the problems in her head.
Wow.
And just watching was amazing. Watching her see, you could just see it on her face when she was working those problems in her head. That was an amazing moment, and it was just wonderful working with her. She taught me so much.
Wow, that does sound very very touching. I'm trying to think. Well, I know that we're doing a lot of use of technology with our program of study. Are y'all starting to incorporate that within the special ed program?
We use so much technology.
Because I know you'll have the Braille computers that they use for the visually impaired.
You know, Braille has been around for a long time for the blind, but it's really coming of age here in the 21st century where we can use the computers instead of having to use an old-fashioned Perkins Braille or Braille writer. You can actually type a program into Word, convert it using a program called Duxbury, where it converts it to Braille, and then print it out on a Braille printer.
Wow.
Something like that. So you can do all that, and it really cuts down the amount of time that it's taking you to convert a written piece into Braille.
Yes.
Also, with a laptop computer, you can hook up what's called a refreshable Braille display to it.
And what is that?
It's got little openings with little plastic things that raise up. I'm not exactly sure how to describe them, but they will raise up, and the blind person can read what's on the screen. It comes up on this refreshable Braille display. And that's really coming of age now. We're trying to expose more of our students to that technology. Of course, there's JAWS, which is basically a screen reader. It reads what's on the screen. And there's also Window Eyes. It's a screen reader as well.
Yeah.
There's lots of programs that will enlarge the screen, magnify the screen. But now they're coming out with a lot of programs that are already built into the computers that you buy straight out of the store or offline, where it magnifies it, and they have some that will do some screen reading. But it's coming of age now, and the cell phones are just amazing what they're doing.
Wow. Well, we are about to run out of time here on the screener that we are using as the application, but I do